In today's video, how to walk your way to weight loss.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and if you're interested in advice on how to lose weight, gain weight, build muscle, perform better, click the subscribe button because that is what we do here. Today's question comes from my Instagram direct message, and before you ask, yes, I'm getting ready to go to a Tampa Bay Rays game. So for today's question, I'm gonna read off my Instagram direct message. I'll put it on the screen here. If you'd like to send me a question, I review them and I can post them here, and I love answering your questions. So let's start here. I'm trying to lose fat 5 pounds, and I've tried to be in a calorie deficit, but it gets very difficult. I eat pretty healthy, to be honest. And I also work out 5 to 6 times per week, so I was thinking about the calorie deficit. Is it possible that instead of eating less, I can eat the same amount of macros but increase my activity, like walking 1 hour every day? Can that help me to lose fat? I don't want to do more cardio because I don't want my metabolism to adapt. Do you think walking more and eating the same macros can help me lose weight? Well, at first I thought, man, this is one of those questions that, probably doesn't even need addressing. But it got me thinking about the way that I lost a lot of weight in the last time I dieted down, and that was through walking and just using walking as a method of that. It even got me to the point where I started researching why some cultures or some areas of the world, obesity is an epidemic, while other places, people are living to be 100. They're called blue zones. You can look them up. And one of the common things about these blue zones, where people tend to live longer and live healthier, is they're not sedentary. So walking, by all means and all accounts, is a wonderful way of managing weight. And if you go to places where people tend to do more walking versus driving, you'll notice body composition tends to improve. And this actually got me thinking last year about my weight loss journey. Now, I want to dispel this rumor. Now, you mentioned avoiding metabolic adaptation. That is a normal, healthy part of any type of diet. Our metabolism is not concerned with our body composition. Our metabolism is concerned about our overall well-being. So when you move more and you lose body fat, your metabolism says, hey, I don't need to be running at this fast pace because I'm gonna burn through calories and body fat much quicker. So it adapts to your current level of fitness. That's very normal. So don't be afraid of metabolic adaptations. What we want to avoid are severe adaptations that come from extreme low-calorie dieting for long periods of time, followed by extreme overeating periods where now we're adding body fat in short periods of time without the benefit of metabolic adaptation in a positive direction. Instead, what we're going to focus on today is talking about walking. What is it? Why does it work so well? Now, I know you use the term cardio and walking very separately, but there's a few things that I love about walking that it never really dawned on me until, well, I started doing more of it. The value of walking. Now, when you travel, when you go on vacation, when you go, say, to Disney World, when you go somewhere where you're doing more walking than normal. I have clients report to me all the time. They're like, hey, coach, I went away for a week. I didn't track my calories and I came back lighter. Why is that? Well, most of us wake up, get in a car, drive to work, sit at our desk, drive home, sit on the couch, go to bed. If you take walking and replace that, if you walk for half an hour, 2 hours a day, you're gonna burn a lot of calories. It actually requires quite a few calories. The other benefit is that it's not hard to recover from. There is no kind of latent difficulty post-walking. Whereas if you're doing a lot of high-intensity cardio, and I've discussed this before, that can create performance issues if you're also doing like a high-intensity training program, okay? So the reason I love walking is because, A, it does not require any skill set. It doesn't require, very few people are so unhealthy that they can't walk. I've even had obese clients that I didn't feel were fit for the gym just start walking more. Lo and behold, the scale starts dropping. Moving around with that much body weight burns a lot of calories. Now for myself, the reason I started doing more walking was because I wanted to lose body fat to compete. And when you look at the style of cardio and what type of substrate is used for fuel, you'll notice that the higher intensity of the cardio, the more carbohydrates are used as fuel. Okay, that's because it's explosive in nature and you're really pushing hard and you're getting that explosive action in the muscle, and that requires a carbohydrate breakdown for fuel. Whereas the lower the intensity of the cardio, the preferred fuel source is going to be adipose tissue or fat cells that are going to be broken down. Now, ultimately, over a 24-hour period, what matters most is the caloric deficit. However, if you're paying attention to your diet and you're doing a lot of walking, you can certainly lose body fat. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to avoid adaptation, but it does mean that you're going to get the benefit of moving more, being more active, and able to recover in a manner that kind of fits your lifestyle. So it can be as simple as getting out a half hour, an hour before you go to work, walking around your neighborhood. Or if you don't have a neighborhood, getting some cardio equipment at your house, like a treadmill. Or if you don't have a treadmill and you have an apartment building, maybe they have a fitness center in there. This has been probably the greatest epiphany that I've had in the last 10 years as a coach, as a competitor, as someone that's looking to kind of maintain a leaner physique. What I realized was that once I had kids, I maintained a much leaner physique. Why? Because I don't sit around as much. I'm just up doing more on a daily basis. I'm walking with my kids to the park. We're playing in the yard. These types of activities, while we don't think of them as cardio, burn a lot of calories. And it's these type of calories that we're burning when we're not thinking about it, we're not despising it, that are really valuable. So I think one thing that's come to my attention over the last couple of years is the step trackers. I used to wear one to kind of get an idea. And I realized when I was traveling through airports, man, I was getting 20 to 30,000 steps in a given day, depending on where I was going, versus the typical 5,000 steps that I would get sitting at my desk working, driving to the gym, coming back and working, and going to bed, right? So that 5,000 steps a day, you multiply that by 4 or 5 or 6 times, and you can see just how many extra calories you're burning. So I will say this, I think that walking is probably one of the greatest forms of activity that we can do. You know, pumping your arms, you're using your entire body, so you're actually getting blood flow going out throughout the entire body. I find it's great for recovery. I feel better after my workouts when I do some walking before my next workout or after my next previous workout. So I've been using walking as a fantastic method to kind of help maintain a leaner physique and also allow myself to eat a little bit more freely when I'm in between competitions. This is where I think, like I said, this epiphany has come to me, just how valuable walking is. So when you mentioned to me, should you do more walking? Absolutely. The only thing you need to do to make sure you're making progress is have some kind of account on your calories and some kind of account on your steps. Really, we need, in my mind as a coach, what I'm looking for is solid black and white data. I need numbers so I can go, okay, what do we need to manipulate here to make progress? So if you're walking 30 minutes a day and you're eating 2,500 calories and you say, well, I want to lose a bit more, well, you can bring those calories down to 2,200. You mentioned not wanting to lower calories, so maybe instead you bring that step counter up. Maybe you start walking 45 minutes or an hour a day. This is where we can really start to see some progress because we have accountability. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me today. I'm going to go to the Tampa Bay Rays playoff game against the Houston Astros, and hopefully we get to see a win today. All right, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.